Sir Alex Ferguson turned Manchester United into the biggest football club in the world and accumulated an extraordinary 49 trophies throughout a career that screams one word: immortal. It's been called one of the greatest games in European Cup history. On April 23, 2003, Real Madrid traveled to Old Trafford for the second leg of its quarter-final matchup with Manchester United. Real was a team stacked with superstars, including Zinedine Zidane and Ronaldo, and had won the first leg at home 3-1. United was looking at the Champions League to save its season. They were already out of the FA Cup and had only just started to recover after the worst start to a league campaign in 13 years. This was the most important game in the club's recent history. So what did Alex Ferguson do? He dropped the golden boy of English football. David Beckham had become a megastar, but that didn't matter to his longtime manager. He didn't like what was happening, so he benched his star player. The game turned out to be a classic, with Ronaldo scoring a hat-trick and Beckham coming on at the 63rd minute to score twice, as United fought back for a memorable 4-3 victory. While they didn't progress on aggregate, the night was another win for Ferguson, continuing his theme: no one is bigger than the club. His relationship with Beckham had been on the wane, and 2 months earlier, he'd kicked a boot at the midfielder's head following a frustrating FA Cup defeat. It was a freakish incident. If I tried it 100 or 1,000,000 times, it couldn't happen again. If I could, I would have carried on playing. At the end of that season, the England captain moved to Real Madrid, with Ferguson not missing a beat. He was almost 30 years into a career that already had him being declared the greatest manager in football.
Because he's so determined in just making things happen the way he wants it to happen. So anybody who's worked for him over the years, you know that he's got a way that he wants to work, and you've got to work within those boundaries. And because of that determination, I think that's what's made the boss a great manager.
A decade later, Ferguson's legacy as the best was official. He'd come a long way since taking over the part-time manager role with East Stirlingshire in Scotland when he was 32. After forging an impressive reputation in his homeland, Ferguson joined Manchester United in 1986, and so started one of the most enduring relationships in world sport. In 26 years at Old Trafford, he won 38 trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, 5 FA Cups, and 2 Champions League titles. He single-handedly transformed Manchester United into a global conglomerate before finally stepping aside at the age of 71 in 2013. And like every immortal, he has his own street named after him and a statue.
It's a proud moment that, normally people die before they see the statue, or people see the statue. I'm outliving death. But, in an incredible journey I've had at the club that so many great players have managed, and some of them are here today, and it's through them. They actually should build the statue for all of them. They've been fantastic players to have. A marvellous bunch.
Still to come on the Immortals, the hothead from Glasgow with the Midas touch. Manchester United might have been awash with star players over Alex Ferguson's reign, but there were only 4 who he considered world-class footballers. At the top of the tree was Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo, who spent 6 years at Old Trafford.
He was a fantastic player. He was the best. We had fantastic players in Scholes and Giggs, of course, and Cantona, and we were some fantastic footballers, but Ronaldo was just something else.
Ryan Giggs was Ferguson's longest-serving lieutenant and part of the manager's 13 Premier League titles. Midfielder Paul Scholes also played his entire professional career at Manchester United under Ferguson, while enigmatic Frenchman Eric Cantona was one of the manager's favourites and the catalyst for his run of success. Alex Ferguson worked as an apprentice at a typewriter factory in Glasgow when he started his football career. He grew into a handy striker, leading the goal scoring in the Scottish League for Dunfermline with 31 goals in the 1965-66 season. Ferguson played 317 games with 6 Scottish clubs throughout a 17-year career before turning his hand to management. After a brief stint with East Stirlingshire, he took over St Mirren in 1974, which was struggling in second division. It won the First Division title 3 years later. He was a hot-headed, strict disciplinarian from the start, and soon became known as Furious Fergie for his regular blow-ups. One of the highlights of his successful 8-year stint with Aberdeen was when he fined one of his players, John Hewitt, for overtaking him in his car on a public road. The European Cup Winners' Cup victory in 1983 against the might of Real Madrid, just the third Scottish team to win the trophy, catapulted Ferguson's profile.
Well, I started at 32 years of age, which was young, and I had 2 particular talents. I played the game, and I had all my coaching certificates, all my badges, and the first lesson I learned when I became a coach with a small team from Scotland was losing. The minute you lose a game, you understand that your job is to find a solution to make sure you don't lose. My first job was to raise the mentality of a footballer, to give him a winning mindset and a character that doesn't let him down, because you don't leave your character in the dressing room, you take it on the field with you, no matter. So my first job was to create a winning mentality with my players. After that, I could work in technique and skill, tactics, whatever. The most important thing was to develop the character.
After being linked to a number of jobs in England, Ferguson signed with Manchester United on November 6, 1986, to replace Ron Atkinson, who'd been sacked. He didn't bring the magic touch straight away, and in fact there were murmurings about his job security after 3 unsuccessful years before he claimed his first piece of silverware, the 1990 FA Cup. Things changed dramatically after he signed a wild Frenchman named Eric Cantona, who helped Ferguson win his first Premier League title in 1992-93. And the damn wall busted. Trophy after trophy came flooding into Old Trafford as the legend of Fergie grew and grew. His forceful personality and siege mentality, which he would foster every season, was great for his team, but not for the media or opposition. But Ferguson didn't care. His greatest weapons were his grit, courage, and defiance. No public opinion could sway him, and no celebrity profile could impress him. Those who hate or disrespect Alex Ferguson, it's only because he snatched away their dreams of winning. Ferguson was a genius at developing his own and had the last laugh during the 1995-96 season. He was widely criticized for releasing stars Paul Ince, Mark Hughes, and Andrei Kanchelskis, and not bringing in any big names. But Fergie had a plan. He knew he had some young talent ready to shine, and the group, which included Gary and Phil Neville, Beckham, Scholes, and Nicky Butt became known as Fergie's fledglings. The Red Devils went on to win the Premier League title, its third in the past 4 seasons, and also the FA Cup. One of Ferguson's greatest achievements came in 1999 when he won an unprecedented treble: Premier League, FA Cup, and Champions League. In the Champions League final against Bayern Munich, United scored twice in stoppage time of the second half to snatch a 2-1 victory. It was the calling card of his teams, scoring late goals in Fergie time. Ferguson was reticent to let his guard down too often, but he did that night.
Winning the Premier League that year and going on to win the FA Cup, and then obviously the Champions League in the final day of the campaign, it was really amazing, and couldn't tell you the joy and the satisfaction that was within that dressing room. And to see the manager in his element, he doesn't let his guard down too often. But that day, he was like a kid. He was running around, he was jumping on everyone, you know, drinking champagne, celebrating like no others. And he felt that he had done the ultimate. I mean, he's done amazing thing in the game, and arguably the best manager, not just in our Premier League here, but around the world.
A month later, Ferguson received a knighthood in the Queen's Birthday Honours List for services to football. Over the next decade, Sir Alex mentored some of the best, with Rio Ferdinand, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Wayne Rooney, helping United to more silverware. In 2010, he became United's longest-serving manager, overtaking the great Matt Busby's record of 24 years.
There's so many great players. The history, people determine Manchester United in many ways. When did it start? They say the Munich disaster. Yes, I think that possibly brought the attention to the club. Maybe not the kind of attention they wanted at the time, obviously. But the rebuilding of the team by Sir Matt Busby to 10 years later to win a European Cup and doing it the right way, it sent a message to every Manchester United team thereafter. There is a way to do it. And I think we try to do that the best we can, because without question, that period of Manchester United is fantastic history.
His 12th league title at the end of that season was United's 19th, which surpassed Liverpool's record of 18. There was one more to come, and fittingly, it was in Ferguson's final season. The greatest manager in history bid farewell by taking charge of United for the 1500th time, an away fixture against West Bromwich Albion. And in keeping with the coaching immortal's career, it was an extraordinary game that finished in an incredible 5-all draw. Never before had Ferguson's well-used saying been more appropriate. Football, eh? Bloody hell.